If you own or operate a pest control company and you are serious about growing your company, so essentially you not only want to hold on to the customers that you already have, but you want to gain a bunch more customers, then essentially what you're interested in, what you need to be interested in, is investing in marketing. Marketing is about holding on to the customers that you already have and getting more. And if you're serious about that, then I promise you Rock Marketing is a solution that you have been looking for. So essentially what we do is we help pest control companies accelerate their growth. And we don't just help pest control companies survive, we help them to thrive. So we really help companies explode, grow, unprecedented growth. That's what we do. Now in this video, I'm going to show you a menu of what we offer. There's 3 of our basic products here, or 3 most common services with their corresponding descriptions and prices. Now I'm going to show you exactly how these services would help you with your unique situation and how we can help you put money in your pocket every single month. That's what this is about. It's about where the rubber meets the road, creating marketing campaigns, investing in marketing in such a way that your company will grow and you'll have phenomenal return on investment. So let's look at that. We're going to start at the top of the list here. We have web design. So essentially what we do is we can take a company, we can go to a company that's had a website online for a while, and a lot of times what will happen is the owner of that pest control company will They know they've got a website, and they also know that for some reason they're just not getting as many sales as they could be when it comes to online sales. But the problem is they don't really know exactly why. I mean, they've got a website, but it just doesn't produce how they think it should. Enter Rock Marketing. What we can do is we can go within just a few minutes of looking at your website, we can quickly tell you exactly why your website is not producing. And we're right almost every single time. So let me give you some examples. I'm going to show you a couple websites here and give you some ideas on what they could do better. We're going to start with this company here. So it's a really basic website. But you know, it's got the phone number right up here at the top. It's got a little bit of information. So you would think that people who are searching for a hometown, you know, a small, maybe a family-owned company kind of feel, that this website would be effective. I mean, it's got the number here. If they find it, you would think that people would call in. But the reality is this website is this website, I guarantee you, is not producing nearly as well as it could be, and I'm going to explain why. The first is because the website doesn't follow basic principles of harmony. The fact that the website is all shifted to the left instead of being center aligned. When you violate principles of harmony like that, when people land on your website, they don't really like it. They might not know why, but they don't like it. The other thing is that they just have a little bit too much information piled onto the front page. You know, they've got all this text. This is a lot of text to read for a home page or a landing page. And then they've got all of this information. They just have too much at once. But actually, for this website, the biggest problem by far is actually a mistake that a lot of companies, even big companies with really expensive websites, sometimes make. And that is that this company, this pest control company, has bugs on their homepage, on their website. That is one of the worst mistakes. I've worked with many companies. I've done countless tests, and I can guarantee you that this cockroach right here is destroying this brand. It is absolutely destroying it. Here's why. Think about this. Your customers or prospective customers go to you because they don't like bugs. That's why they go to you, is because they don't want to see bugs. Otherwise, they wouldn't be calling a pest control company. So they don't like bugs. And then they go to your website and they see a big, fat, nasty cockroach right there prominently displayed on the home page right next to their brand. Now think about this from a psychological standpoint or a neuromarketing standpoint. As soon as people see this nasty cockroach, their mind on a subconscious level is going to be immediately overwhelmed with feelings of negativity, of grossness or disgust or of some sort of negative feeling. And the fact that the first time that anybody experiences this brand, they're going to immediately associate this brand with feelings of disgust and dislike and negativity, which is why I can say with absolute certainty that this cockroach is not only making it so this website doesn't produce, but it is literally, quite literally, destroying this brand. Now, a lot of pest control companies make this mistake because they think, well, what do we do? What's our service? Bugs. And so they put bugs on their homepage. Some people don't put cockroaches. Some people put mice or spiders. Spiders are so prevalent. And people are disgusted by spiders. And so you see a spider on your homepage, that's killing your brand. It's killing it. It's so bad. It's just destroying your online marketing. And that's why this won't produce, because most people will just close the website right there and go to a different one. So what do? Well, you transform. What we can do is we can take this website. First off, we can identify the problem right off the bat. And then we can transform this website into a website that works. So let me show you this one right here. This is the kind of website that we produce. Now, when you land on this website, first off, there's no bugs. There's no elements of disgust or negativity. It's this beautiful picture, perfectly taken piece of photography. It's just, meshes with principles of harmony. And then it's got, two kids playing, which again, people who are buying pest control are usually people who are fathers and mothers, have kids. So this incites feelings of warmth, positiveness, feelings of love, harmony. And so the first time people experience this brand, they begin to associate this brand with positive things, and they'll like it. As opposed to this right here, they see this, they'll associate this brand with negative things. This is destroying this brand. On the contrast, this is building up and it's strengthening the brand. Okay. The other thing that this website does is right off the bat, it has a very simple call to act, or a very simple what we call hook statement. We protect your home, keep your family safe. That's it. There's no text. See, look at this. There's no great big paragraph or a book to read like you have here. It's just very simple, and then it focuses the customer or the prospective customer to this simple call to action: schedule service, click, and then they'll walk the prospective client through a process that will then convert that customer or prospective customer into an actual customer. This website works. This website does not work. Now let me show you one other one. Now this website is much better. You don't see as many bugs. I mean, there's a couple little ones here. But on the home page, it's a lot better. Now the problem with this website is that it's too cluttered, and this is probably the biggest, this is probably the most common problem that pest control companies make. Having bugs there is probably the worst mistake that pest control companies make, but having your website too cluttered is the most common. Almost every single company that I begin to work with, their website is like 10 times more cluttered than it should be. And that's what this one's doing. So you've got 2 rows of menus. Think about all the information. So customer lands on this web page and immediately they've got like this volume, what seems like to them a volume of text that they need to read. All this information, it's about us, family service, honest price, anywhere, anytime, pest control specialist, about us, all these things, pictures, all this text here, which I don't even know what this is. Nobody's going to read this. 2 rows of text, all this information, all at the same time, just overwhelmed on the prospective client. It's going to overwhelm them. And so the customer, or the prospective customer, whatever the case may be, is going to start to associate this brand with feelings of being overwhelmed. And that's not good. This is a really common mistake. So in either case, or whatever your case might be, in either case, we can create a website that is effective, that works, that will get people to call. So if you got a website and you're not calling and you don't have people calling you, this is probably why. Now let's go back to my menu. So with web design, essentially what we can do is we can create an effective top-of-the-line website. This is a one-time only cost, and so this isn't a monthly cost. This is just between $450 and $1,800 is typically what most people spend when they revamp or create a brand new website. Now, the little asterisks here, I'll explain that high functionality causes websites to be more. So if you want your website to take appointments or to book or to interlace or to interact with your CRM, or you want your website to be able to take payments or to for your customer to be able to go into your backend and view their account, that's functionality. Now if you want that, we totally support all that, but with that said, it costs a little bit more. That's what causes this to be more on the high end. Now, if you don't necessarily need all that functionality, then you'll probably be more on the low end of this price spectrum. Now, even if you were to invest the lowest dollar amount, $450, $500 on a website, that website is going to be awesome. Even at the low end, your website, your brand new website is going to be awesome. Now, it's probably not going to have 20 pages. It's going to be 1 or 2 pages, but those 1 or 2 pages are going to be extremely effective. Also, 95% of web browsers only view the first page anyways. So most companies, they develop a 20-page website, but only 5% of their customers are even viewing the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th pages. Most people only view 1 or 2 pages, and they make, at that point, the decision as to whether or not they want to call the company and become a customer. So if you just need your website fixed, you want a really good website, this is where you start web design. Now the next level is online sales. This is for people who are more serious about long-term investment in marketing. So, and it's also for people who have the mindset of, look, where the rubber meets the road is I want sales, and that's what they care about. For those kind of people, then this is probably a really good option. Online sales, what we do is website enhancement in it. So you don't have to pay for this. You just do online sales, which is $284 per month. And we'll go in and we'll enhance your website for you. So everything that I just mentioned, we'll do that. And it'll be less upfront because you'll just do $284 per month. Then you'll have a website that looks like, something like this, that's effective like this instead of so you'll have a way better website. And by better, I don't mean that it looks better. Who cares what your website looks like, right? The only thing that really matters, the only thing that you really care about is whether the website produces sales, whether your website gets people to pick up the phone and call you and say, how much do you charge? That's what you care about. Now, hopefully it looks good too, but remember, keep in mind, the point is effectiveness, efficacy. So with that said, with this online sales package, $284 per month, we'll do the upfront cost. So we'll forward you that. We'll invest in your company. We'll develop your website. Now, once you have a website that works in the sense that it can convert traffic into sales, well, then obviously the next thing that you need is traffic, right? You have a website that works really well. Well, you got to run people to it to give it the opportunity to work, which is search engine optimization. That means that when people click in pest control, when they go to google.com and type in pest control and hit enter, your website needs to pull up at the very top. That's SEO, search engine optimization, or pay-per-click. Both of those relate to when people type in pest control and hit enter, you show up at the top. Okay, now the only difference is SEO is a process, a natural organic ranking, whereas paid advertises just that. PPC is paid advertising, so you can get the top very quickly. Now, for Facebook, we can also run Facebook ads for you. Really effective, really inexpensive, get out to a lot of people. We can also create a sales video on your website. So when people go to your website, when they scroll down, it's effective to have a video on there that plays and that explains why people should use you. If you do that, we'll set you apart. You'll be far more likely, it'll be far more likely for people to choose your company as opposed to any of the other 20 options that they have. So video development is really important. People naturally relate with videos because in a video they can see the actual person, they can hear them, it engages more of their senses. So that's essentially what we would do. So this is a monthly cost, and every month you'll see sales come in, and especially in the sales season. So we're talking for most companies, depends on the part of the country you live in, but for most companies, March, April is when it really picks up all the way till about October. And then even in the winter for things like roaches and mice and for termites, we'll still get a lot of sales, but especially in the hot months, you'll see a huge return on investment. Now remember that this is an investment in marketing. Now, if you own a pest control company, you should not even be concerned about investing in the stock market. And I'll tell you why. If you invest in something like the stock market, in your wildest dreams, you might get 30 or 40% return on investment. But that's in your wildest dreams, right? If you invest in your own company, you invest in marketing, your marketing dollars invested will all day long produce a 200 or 300% return on investment in the long run. So investing in your company, in marketing, and in the growth of your company is way, way better. It's a far better investment. So that's what this is, monthly investment into your company to create more sales. And it will create sales. It's very effective. Now, what happens with a lot of companies is they start here with the online sales and they realize that this $284 that they're spending in marketing investment is giving them just a phenomenal return on investment. And so the next logical decision is to say, well, if you're doing that well with this, we want to hire you to be a more integral part of our company. And the next step up is to hire Rock as your marketing team. Now, essentially what we'll do is we'll come in and we'll implement and manage what's called a VTO. And there's a book out there called Traction. If you haven't read it, you need to read it. It's a great book. But essentially the book talks and explains and gives concrete ways in which you can, as a company, create a vision, break it down into goals, and achieve on a regular basis those goals and essentially achieve the vision that you want, that you have for your company. So the VTO stands for Vision Traction Organizer. So we'll manage that. We'll also we'll hold regular weekly meetings with you and with also any other key personnel. If you have a main manager, then they'll be on that meeting as well. And in those meetings, we track on a regular basis and make sure we're focused on our goals, make sure we're achieving what we set out to achieve, and make sure that we're all essentially paddling in the same direction. So correlates our efforts at Rock Marketing, what we do with you, and what you do makes us all move in the same direction. We also manage quarterly goals. We do goal setting and tracking. Once a year, we do yearly planning. So this is strategy. We created what's called a CGS, or a customized growth strategy for your company. Big overall plan about what you can do, what you should do. And then in the meetings that I just mentioned, the weekly meetings and the quarterly meetings, we implement and we achieve what we set out to do in the yearly planning. It's highly effective. Also, you can see here it's up to 10 hours per month of miscellaneous work. Let me explain what that is. A lot of times in the CGS, or the customized growth strategy, it'll call for something like partnership marketing. Now, if you've never heard of partnership marketing, I promise you actually know what it is. You just don't know that you know. So a lot of times you'll see an ad on TV, for example, and it will be a McDonald's television ad, but it's also a Coke ad. So they're advertising both Coke and McDonald's. Now what's happening here is Coke and McDonald's get together and they say, we'll both go in on this marketing venture and we'll share the cost. So you pay for half, I pay for half, and then marketing and Coke, they get this advertising for 50 cents on the dollar. But they both get the television ad. It's brilliant. Well, you can do that as well with your small company. Here's how you do it. There's a lot of companies out there that offer services that are in no way competitive to what you do in pest control, but they have the exact identical target market. For example, carpet cleaners, people who offer lawn care if you don't. So weed and feed, again, if you don't. People who offer home maintenance packages, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so for these kinds of companies, they're offering services to people who are essentially homeowners and who are investing in their home. That's your target market. That's exactly the kind of people that you are looking for. So what do? Well, you go to those companies and you say, look, let's co-sponsor a television ad. Let's co-sponsor a marketing campaign. Let's co-sponsor something on Facebook. Now, if you can get two of them to do it, then the three of you can go in and you can all run ads for 33 cents on the dollar. It's a brilliant way to do marketing. It's a cheap, so cheap, yet very effective way to do marketing. Now, the only problem with that is it requires some legwork. And it's not legwork that you can just have your secretary do. You need somebody who is an effective closer. That's where we can come in. So this 10 hours per month, we can do stuff like that. Either develop videos for you, or we can develop, work deals, close those deals so we can do partnership marketing. A lot of things that we can do. The other things, just to give you some ideas that I've done with this 10 hours per month, I have created countless training manuals. So office training manuals, sales training manuals, things like that for companies so that their company actually becomes a company and you have more systematized processes to get things done. So when you hire people, you don't have to spend 50 hours every time you hire a new person. There's a sales manual, you just give it, or an office manual, you can just give it to somebody, give it to the new hire and they can read it. And we do a lot of that. So that's what that 10 hours per month comes in. Now down here, the next one, additional hours needed. What that means is a lot of times I'll hire, somebody will hire me in Rock, they'll hire Rock Marketing, and quite quickly they realize that there's a lot of work that they realize that their market, all the money that they invest in marketing is getting them a phenomenal return on investment, so they start investing more. And a lot of times what happens is they start having me do all kinds of stuff. I've managed, I've run meetings for people, I've just done a whole host of different things, and if it exceeds the 10 hours per month, and I just have a set hourly rate that I charge my clients who have hired me as their marketing team. And so this can go up. So if you look at this, if you do both marketing team and online sales, which a lot of people do, and you pay extra for pay-per-click and Facebook ads, you could come in and have both of this done for $2,000 per month. If you were to go out and hire a full-time CMO, a corporate marketing officer or marketing director, how much do you think that's going to cost you? I guarantee you aren't going to be anywhere close to $2,000 a month. Not for a good one. You're going to be more like $80,000 a year. You're going to be more like $6,000 to $8,000 per month. Plus, it's an employee, so you have to worry about paying Social Security and all that other red tape that doesn't go along with hiring a contractor like me. And it's way less. But the funny thing is that we do just as much, if not more. For that $2,000 a month, you'll get far more bang for your buck than if you go out and just hire a full-time guy. Now, with that said, if your company is doing more than $10 million per month in revenue, then it's possible that hiring a full-time guy might actually be in your best interest. Perhaps. It still may not be, but perhaps. But if your company is doing, between say $500,000 and $8 million in revenue, I guarantee it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. This Rock Marketing is the solution that you've been looking for. You do marketing team and online sales and then put money into pay-per-click and Facebook ads, you're going to see just phenomenal return on investment. Your existing clientele is going to be far more loyal to you. And you're going to get a lot more customers. So we're going to help you grow your company big time. Now, if you like what we're talking about, here's what you need to do. You need to go to rockmymarketing.com. And you'll land on a website this website that I showed you at the beginning, okay? And then if you go right here and you click on questionnaire, this is your first step. So get started and then click on questionnaire. When you go onto this page, it'll take you to a quick little form. It'll take you about 3 or 4 minutes to fill out. Fill out this form and hit send. Now up here at the top where it says your name, put your name and your company, and then fill out the rest of the form and hit send. Once I get that, then I will give you a call and we'll set up a consultation. We'll move forward. Now, I charge $230 for the initial consultation if we're going to do a full CGS. Now, if you just want a website developed, obviously I'm not going to charge you. We'll just build your website and call it good. But if you want to actually have us develop your campaign, I charge $230. Down here at the bottom, you can see $230 for a consultation. But if you call right now and you say that you saw this video, which is the price menu video, and you found it online, you mention that, and I will offer you the consultation for free. So we'll essentially sit down with you, we'll do a consultation, we'll start to create your customized growth strategy for no obligation, for no cost on your end. So rockmymarketing.com, and then give me a call. If you scroll down to the bottom of the website, you can see my phone number right here. This is the office phone number, and we'll go from there.